team pick.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Game Show Global Cup. It's going to be Game 2 between Princess Jellopy now on the Dire, going up against Alternate Attacks. Jellopy has already claimed 1 win, so that's 1 point for the team in this group stage. Alternate Attacks looking for 1 point off of this win. Jellopy looking for 2 additional, so 3 total off of this series. I'm Mikelorus, going to be joined by Daneliecasts for this second game. Looks like we're going to have a very similar cast, except a little bit of swapping now. Winter Wyvern, swap with Dazzle, and it's the exact same start as Game 1.
I'm not sure what alternate sees in this Dazzle pick. Because we saw in Game 1, it just really wasn't that... He didn't have that much impact in Game 1. He felt like he didn't really exist. Yeah.
Alright.
In Game 1, I just didn't really feel like the hero did anything. They weren't aggressive with the hero. They were mostly playing defensive a lot of the time, and that's when Undying... He's okay in the situation as long as he has farm, as long as he has levels, but when he doesn't have those, that's when he really becomes a dead weight, because he's not performing to the standards that an Undying really should. And because of the nerfs that hit him in the back, it hurts Undying even more, because he needs the Tombstone, he needs Decay, and if you're not maxing Tombstone, then obviously something's going wrong, because you need the Tombstone as well. Oh man, I hope they can make it work this time. They will have a lot of sustain though. They've got the Dazzle this time, so whatever they decide to pick up after this means that if they do have team fights, they can have long sustained team fights, and they should come out on top as long as the fights have Undying and Dazzle alive for the majority of it. Whereas Princess Jellopy, Shadow Fiend, why not? Such a safe pick. You can really do anything with the Shadow Fiend. You can put him in any lane that you want. Whereas they're also going to pick up a Winter Wyvern as well. So as you said, swapping it around, Wyvern's very good at sustain as well. So it's not like one team's going to have sustain and one won't. They will have the same, but you could say there's more for Team Alternative. I'm just really hoping we see some Undying action this game, because I'm not convinced about first pick Undying.
Me neither, but I think the biggest problem with this is that it seems like the supporting crew from Alternate are already up. This Night Stalker pick is huge because we just saw Baby Knight get done cleaning house with Ember Spirit, and Dazzle Undying not great at locking down Ember Spirit. Maybe can save an ally from Ember Spirit, and Undying's Decay is actually a pretty good tool at just like lowering the HP pool of a already soft hero, but they need some form of hard crowd control for an Ember Spirit should it be picked up by Princess Jellopy. I mean, it's not banned out by Alternate there, and so they can take out the Darkseer Gyrocopter, getting rid of these Winter Wyvern and Shadow Fiend Wombo combos. But they need this Night Stalker pick so badly, so they get the Crippling Fear. They will have that in their back pocket, and now we have a slightly more aggressive oriented lineup here for Alternate Attacks. Night Stalker with the Undying does open up the door for a lot more aggressive tower diving plays. But it's not going to stop Princess Jellopy from sticking to their guns. We got the Baby Knight, Ember Spirit once again.
Ooh, but we are going to have an Anti-Mage pickup here for Alternate. This is a pretty early Anti-Mage pickup as well, so Jellopy, if they really wanted to, they can pick up a Disruptor right now to help chase down the Anti-Mage. Because with their current draft, they don't have that much lockdown when it comes to keeping the Anti-Mage in place. So I'd definitely be looking at a Disruptor for this game. And it's not for catching out Anti-Mage only, it's also great for chasing down the Night Stalker, especially when he's trying to retreat during nighttime. The glimpse range is huge. So, I would like to see a Disruptor, but I'm pretty sure Jellopy is going to pick something else and just laugh in my face afterwards.
So we got Anti-Mage now for Alternate Attacks. This is 3 melee heroes. And, I mean, Night Stalker kind of gets around it by just being super tanky and just being able to dive right in. But this is something that is already kind of punished by Princess Jellopy. Ember Spirit with Battle Fury, with his natural AoE kit, Shadow Fiend, Winter Wyvern, all with a decent amount of AoE, is a lot of damage towards Alternate Attacks right now. It's again like a weird situation for Alternate Attacks where the Undying and Night Stalker opening makes you think that they're going to be going fully aggressive. Anti-Mage is going to slow that game plan down because he doesn't want to be playing super aggressively. He wants to be getting the slow farming game. So if you're using Night Stalker and Undying to hold down the fort, I mean, that's not terrible. But Princess Jellopy are just going to grab the same exact draft from last game, because why the hell not? I mean, this time Sullen is probably going to be on the Winter Wyvern, but with that exception, we now have a Shaker up again for Baby Knight. Yet another for Kefka, rather. Yet another hero that is absolutely fantastic at punishing these melee heroes from Alternate Attacks.
Well, let's be honest, though. Why does Princess Jellopy have to change their draft from last game? Like, it worked last time. It's bound to work this time as well, because I'm pretty sure it's not just that they're comfortable with the heroes, but they also believe in their plays. Like they probably know that to some extent they are better players than Team Alternate. They have the better mindset. They're going to understand what they need to do. It's just it comes with experience. Where for Team Alternate, they felt lost last game, right? They had a plan. You looked at their draft and you say, okay, so they want to try and go for this style of game, and it just didn't happen because they weren't able to find those openings to create space for their main heroes that needed the space. So for this game, I don't know about holding down the fort with an Undying and a Night Stalker. I don't think they really have enough in just an Anti-Mage to win the game for them. You're going up against an Ember Spirit and a Shadow Fiend. That's already a 2-core draft going up against one. And it's not just the Anti-Mage that has split push potential as well. Ember Spirit can split push almost just as well. So Team Alternate, they could try and possibly go for split push Anti-Mage if they feel like they're in trouble, but I don't really think that's going to solve their problem.
Yeah, they're really going to need a hard-hitting, scaling mid laner for the future picks. Wind Ranger seems like a pretty safe one right now because she's always a pretty safe one. It's interesting to see both these teams just completely ignoring the Alchemist in these games, just not picking him, and I guess to each his own. I would not recommend Alchemist right now for alternate attacks. He will not have a good time. But yeah, they just need a mid lane hero who can, again, participate in those hold down the fort type of plays and also get a little bit of scaling towards late. The pool of heroes that go towards mid lane and can do that is very, very large. This would be a game where I would like to see the Magnus partner up with Anti-Mage. It still won't be the best for alternate attacks, but it'll be a lot better than last scenario where the Magnus and Slark was kind of an awkward combination. Didn't really get off the ground for alternate attacks. But you really don't want to grab another melee hero. That's just way too much. Invoker, there it is. Okay, that's a scaling hero who could actually hold down the fort early.
Not just that, but he's also really good at disrupting. And wow, Princess Jellopy, they're going to finish up the draft with a Venomancer, which is going to help them with the push, which is fine. But I think at this point, you look at their draft and it's just 100%. We want to fight now once they hit the level 6. And there's actually quite a bit of damage output as well with the Venomancer, especially when he gets that level 6 in his ult too. So even though Team Alternate does have the Dazzle, the weakness of Dazzle is that even though you Shallow Grave an ally, if there's damage over time, it really doesn't matter. They're going to die anyway after the extra 5 seconds you keep them alive. So it's more or less going to have to be a commitment for Team Alternate that they do want to try and fight Jellopy, whereas for Jellopy, they want to make the 100% commitment. They want to end the game. And we saw Baby Knight, he's not the type of Ember Spirit that sits idly and farms. He's the type of Ember Spirit that wants to fight as soon as possible. So, honestly, there's a lot of synergy going in the way of Team Jellopy, whereas for Team Alternate, I hope they're going to be able to come back in this second game. I don't really like seeing 2-0 sweeps because, honestly, it just means that one team is suffering, and I don't like people suffering, so let's see if the Invoker is going to manage to change things around.
How empathetic of you. What a good person.
I'm a nice person. I'm a nice person. I don't like people suffering.
I would rather have 2 zeros because that minimizes the cases where we will have awkward tiebreakers in the future. That's just me. Because like if you have a 1-1, each side gets 1 point. So like a total of 2 points are earned. But a 2-0 means a total of 3 points are earned. And that would decrease the chances of a tie. That's what I like. I don't know. I don't give a shit who wins or who loses.
You don't give a shit. Well, we have an unbiased man right here. That's absolutely fine. Well, technically, I'm unbiased because I let everyone win as well.
Sure, I guess. Kefka did say that he always gets kills on the enemy safe lane when he's Shaker, so I kind of want to see that, but I also kind of want to not see that, just so because then I could laugh at him later on.
Well, in theory, an anti-mage shouldn't die to an Earth Shaker.
That's what we said about Slark, though.
But I think Slark's a different case, though. He's much easier to catch compared to an anti-mage.
Yeah.
We'll see. I guess also something else to fall back onto is how many points of Spell Shield will anti-mage go for. I don't think he's going to go for any in the safe lane just because he knows no one's going to harass him. So that could hurt him, unless he puts that 1 point, the one value point. But we'll have to see what Exotic Deer wants to do with that, if he does or doesn't.
Alright, well, while both teams are kind of on this standoff positioning, let's see who's going to be playing what. On the Radiant side, this time we got Lelouch playing the Night Stalker, and a player who is done in caps is on the Undying. Looks like it's, well, it might be a dual lane, although I don't really expect that to stay the case for the entirety of it. Supreme is going to be the mid lane Invoker with Nisha on the Dazzle. That leaves Exotic Deer on the Anti-Mage. I love this hood, their cowl blindfold thing. It's great.
It's just too bad there's no Frostivus map. We've gone through this before. If it was a Frostivus map, then this would definitely be a warranted cosmetic. Exactly, but it's a little bit too warm. Maybe he just likes tropical climates. Anti-Mage is Asian, so he needs to stay warm. Regardless, I'm a of princess. I get very cold. So.
Well, why is he Asian? He doesn't look.
Well, he looks
whatever,
like
just drop it. We're dropping it.
He looks Tibetan, at least. Anyways, on the side of Princess Jellopy, we've got Kefka that's going to be playing on her Earthshaker yet again. In the mid lane, we're going to have Baby Knight handling the Ember Spirit again. Beaver playing something a little bit different this time. Going to be on the Winter Wyvern, babysitting Baby Knight for a little bit, whereas up in the top lane, we've got Solon on the Venomancer. And finally, our safe lane, we're going to have Jellopy, His Royal Highness, on the Shadow Fiend. He does look Tibetan there, I'm telling you now.
He's going to go 2v1 on this top lane. This is where Undying is a little bit better. You have him with a Night Stalker, a hero that can, again, YOLO dive the tower, and he's going up against a hero who's naturally very soft and is getting even softer. 2 decays and already 340 max health. That is just so terrible for Jellopy to deal with. Like, one Void is going to do so much freaking damage. And look at that, half his HP, one more right click, Jellopy down. Disrespecting the minus strength. I didn't actually get a good look at how much total HP he had by the time they pulled that trigger, but it's not a lot. There's not much that the Shadow Fiend can do there. I guess there's not much that an Ember Spirit can do there either, but this is the power of this dual lane up against, just for at the moment, a solo Shadow Fiend. Now with the Winter Wyvern and Venomancer there, it's going to be a lot more difficult for them to get that kill and walk away unpunished, but still, it's a first blood for alternate. Definitely a lot better than the start of last game, but they're going to give a free Tombstone. I'm not really sure what that was about. That was actually super expensive from the Undying, so I really don't know what that was about, but I think the weirdest thing right now is the fact that Supreme, his Invoker has gone for level 1 Exort, now has 1 point in Wex. I want to see a Wex build from this Invoker. I don't think Exort is the way to go in this game, but up towards top lane, Undying is in a little bit of trouble. Solon has not used the slowed yet. There it is with the raises. The Undying's definitely going to fall. Winter Wyvern's going to grab that kill.
Yeah, so nice counterplay there from Jellopy to manage to pick up a counter kill onto the Undying. It shouldn't have happened, honestly, but I feel like maybe Alternate is getting a little bit too overconfident in that top lane, thinking, hey, we got a kill on the Shadow Fiend, maybe we can possibly get it again. All of these heroes are naturally squishy. So, yeah, a little bit of disrespect there from the Undying. He will go back to his shenanigans, just stealing the Royal Majesty's strength. He's down to 378. That's almost as low as a creep HP. How much a creep's HP? He's almost there. For range creeps. He's almost a range creep. It's fine.
It's pretty easy to kill those range creeps. Jellopy's got to be very careful being this far out without his supports. But his supports have actually moved towards the mid lane, or at least one of them has. The chains are going to land on Supreme. He's going to turn around and fight Baby Knight with the burn there. Supreme's not going to win this exchange. He's going to slowly burn to the shield. Baby Knight taking a couple of tower shots, yes, but will eventually lose the aggro. Gets salved up by the Winter Wyvern and will be on his merry way. Invoker just, did not see that one coming. To be fair, even if he went for a Quas Wex opening, like a standard Wex build, he probably wouldn't have gotten out of there anyway. Alacrity at least gave him a fighting shot there, but Jellopy in a lot of trouble right now. Void, Decay, he's going to stick up, which is going to give him a lot of HP in his bar, but still doesn't have that much to work with. The second Tombstone is now dropped, and I think this is, again, just free gold. Oh, it's denied, never mind. Sure, but that's still 120 mana and a giant cooldown down the tubes for the Undying, so if they want to make an aggressive play, they can on this top lane for Princess Jellopy. 2-1 to their favor. Down towards bottom lane, Kefka is, well, actually having a decent time with just an Earthshaker versus 2 heroes. There's not much that he has to fear from this Dazzle. Maybe he has to fear the mana break from Anti-Mage a little bit, but that'll just annoy him, it won't kill him.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, surprisingly enough though, as you said, Kefka's doing okay. If he does as he says and gets that kill on the Anti-Mage, I'll probably eat a sock. Please don't do this, Kefka. Don't do this to me. But he did play very well, so he does know the limitations of this hero. So if he sees the opportunity, he will eventually get a kill on the Anti-Mage. But I'm pretty sure Alternate, Exotic Deer in particular, is going to understand that Kefka will do this sort of play. So I think he'll play a little bit more defensively when he is around the Earthshaker. Unless the Echo Slam just comes right now. It's no level 6 yet though, so hold your socks, guys. Hold your socks.
This is a very interesting item build from Kefka. Got the boots. No Soul Ring, no straight Arcane Boots Rush or anything like that. He's gone for Orb of Venom. And this is something that you can only really do as a Shaker, when you are in a lane that is not super threatening to your life, since, I mean, it's not for really harassing the Anti-Mage, it's for harassing the Dazzle. So you can just get in there with the boots and keep your Enchant Totem up constantly, just whack down that Dazzle and prevent him from running. Right now, it's not helping him that much, and I'm sure right now he wishes it was something else, but still, Kefka, with this Orb of Venom, can pressure the Dazzle quite a bit. But speaking of pressure up towards top lane, this is when things get interesting. It's first nighttime phase, and this is when Princess Jellopy, or I guess Jellopy and his subjects, are going to have to stay near the Shadow Fiend as best they can, protect him at all costs. As long as they have eyes on Lelouch, they should mostly be fine. But over towards mid lane, Baby Knight is going to go aggressive towards Supreme. He will jump out of there, though. Level 6 now up on the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, so as you said, this nighttime's going to be very important. The thing is, though, does Alternate really want to play aggressively now? They could try, but as you said earlier during the draft phase, I feel like they're going to be playing more defensive than ever. They could try and go for the kills, but this top tri lane, it's not that easy unless you know that Solon isn't around. If it's just the Winter Wyvern, then I can definitely see them trying to get a kill here. Beaver, so close yet so far. They don't have any vision of him, unfortunately. Unless they do somehow spot him, but it doesn't seem to be the case. They're checking just in case there was a pull. They see it's empty, so they knew that it's happened, and instead they're going to try and go into the mid lane instead to try and catch out Baby Knight. This could be an opening, but the thing is, though, are they going to commit Lelouch? She's going to be going through the Riverfest to pick up the rune. What will it be? Just an illusion. That's one of the worst ganking runes.
Yeah, you don't really want that as a Night Stalker. He is prepared for killing off an Ember Spirit. He has the Crippling Fear, and he definitely has the damage output with the Phase Boots, which for 6 minutes in is quite a bit of farm for the Night Stalker. In fact, Night Stalker, second place in the net worth chart, getting a lot of CS. They're going to start diving Jellopy. Here comes a Sunstrike. Will land perfectly onto the Shadow Fiend, who was standing his ground. And it is going to be the first nighttime kill for, well, this time the Invoker gets the first Sunstrike kill at that. But yeah, 2-2, and for Princess Jellopy, this time they're CSing not as well. The pressure on the Shadow Fiend is definitely real, having died now twice. Baby Knight is falling slightly behind the Invoker, well, not really by that much, and of course the Anti-Mage is having a great time on this bottom lane. So the CSing situation for Princess Jellopy right now, not exactly what they want it to be. This top lane dual lane, I think, has so far been a vast success for Team Alternate.
But the thing is, though, for Princess Jellopy, even though they're far behind, we've seen them play. They know those where to find the aggressive openings. So there's still a chance for them to come back on the back of ganks. So for them, we're just going to see when they want to try and go for the rotations. I think the only difference is that because they're running a Veno instead of a support that's going to be okay in terms of roaming, they may be a little bit more passive. I wonder what they're trying to farm up onto Solon. If it's supposed to be this Venomancer that does semi-decent amounts of damage, or if it's just going to be the utility Veno that we sometimes see and just going for the standard support items.
You might have to go for an Ag, but they have to protect their top lane first of all. Undying has a Decay plus a Soul Rip. Jellopy, though, going to salve up. That'll get him back up to full. Tombstone has already been deployed, kind of far away from the tower, so no diving there. We're towards mid lane. Speaking of diving, Baby Knight trying to go deep again for Nisha Supreme. He will back off, and well, this is leaving the Anti-Mage down in the bottom lane by himself. Now Echo Slam is up, and Kefka has gone for the Enchant Totem build. This is the build that you go for if you want to cut through an Anti-Mage. And if he runs into Nisha right now, he can cut through this Dazzle like butter. Uh-oh, Dazzle. He just wants the rune, that's all he wants, but Kefka's gonna close in. Echo Slam, Enchant Totem, whack him down. Fissure is there, needs one more hit before the grave comes out. It's not gonna happen. Baby Knight's going to arrive. With the Searing Chains, Nisha's not going anywhere. Solon is also here for no real reason, but they'll get the kill on the Dazzle nonetheless. And this is what happens when you have a Shaker who's getting this much free space going 1 versus an Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage is just fine. He's farming up as much as he could possibly want. But the Earthshaker's getting a hell of a lot of levels, and this is a kind of dangerous situation for Alternate to be in. Kefka did work once he got his Blink Dagger. He's going to once again get into a fight with the Exotic Deer. Unfortunately, loses the mana for his Enchant Totem mid-animation. Now here comes the support. It's a daytime Night Stalker, but still he has a level 3 Void. That's really all they want. Here comes the Blink in. Sunstrike is going to be completely dodged, but Kefka will fall regardless with the Soul Rip. And Undying is going to grab that kill. 3 heroes in the bottom lane to call up the Shaker, and it is going to be the Undying to grab it.
Yeah, so it's going to be a lot of emphasis put onto Exotic Deer, it seems, for Alternate. They know that this is supposed to be their late game, their only late game hero in the Anti-Mage. So I think they're going to have to put a lot of emphasis into protecting him and also, in some cases, just spoon-feeding him kills so that he comes online much sooner. So I like that they brought everybody in to make sure that they help Exotic Deer get a kill or at least an assist to help speed up the farm. But they also need to put some more emphasis onto the Shadow Fiend, I feel like. Jellopy's doing okay for farm. He's not really been shut down. He's died twice, which is probably the only thing that's happened for him. but he's not really in that bad of a position. It's still a Shadow Fiend. He can still flash farm the jungle. I would honestly like to see Team Alternate maybe ward up the enemy jungle just to see if they can spot out Jellopy farming in the jungle, because he's still very fragile. You can catch him out quite easily. You just need to have the vision to find him.
Oh, Baby Knight. He's going to find and wall off the Undying. Speaking of walls, here's another one. There's actually nowhere to run. Oh man, that was just a bad place for an Undying, or any hero really, to find themselves. Ember Spirit completely blocking off the ramp, Fissure blocking off the other side, and you're just gonna die. But Night Stalker, he's prepping up the darkness right now. He's gonna dive forward, looking for Solon with the Void. A couple more right clicks. Solon's gonna pop to the Mana Void. Beaver's gonna come in way too late. That was a pretty immediate TP from the Winter Wyvern as well, but still not nearly enough to handle the damage output of both the Night Stalker and an Anti-Mage. But here comes Baby Knight. I still don't know if this is going to be directly in Princess Jellopy's favor, but they're going to try it because they have a DD rune on the Ember Spirit. You don't really want to tango with the Night Stalker, however, during nighttime phase. He's going to miss the chains, already not off to a great start. He has spirits to jump to if needed, so it looks like Baby Knight's going to be fine, but they're looking for the Anti-Mage because they do have the curse now up. It's going to be a very, very slim kill if it's going to happen at all. I don't think there's really an opportunity here for Princess Jellopy. They're kind of tempting fate by going 2 heroes versus 3 on this bottom lane. Well, a little bit less so now that the daytime is here, but it's a very delicate situation here. It looks like it's not going to be anyone to fall just yet. This is giving a lot of free time for, as you said, Jellopy to farm up towards top lane. He's recovering very rapidly, and Kefka to actually start jungling.
Yeah, I'm for Jellopy, it's actually a very good idea that they didn't try and go, but poor Supreme. Poor Supreme.
He was one shot away from killing Solon, but he decided to TP out instead. I mean, he saw Baby Knight come in, so he's like, oh, I gotta get out of here. Baby Knight has Sleight of Fist at this point, so he's gonna get that kill. And now he's gonna jump forward, looking for Nisha. Does not see the Dazzle immediately once he places the Remnant, so it looks like no kill on the Dazzle just yet. But still, that should have been a kill on the Venomancer. And it's still, no, he's not gonna be up in time for Sunstrike. Never mind.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate, but I think it's just, at this point, I think he values his life more than kills, and maybe it was just a little bit of a panic TP, thinking, oh, I probably have this kill in the last hit, and then he miscalculates it. There could have been a chance for that happened, just having this more miscalculation, but Baby Knight gonna slowly backdoor the creep wave here, and unfortunately, poor Undying here. He doesn't really want to show himself. If he does, actually got caught out by the Remnant, and all of a sudden that's gonna be an Undying that is going to be dead. So, rest in pieces, Undying. You'll be remembered.
Baby Knight being chased down by the Night Stalker, who's just going to deny that rune. Regen would have been huge for Baby Knight to grab that. Would have saved him a TP and a lot of time, but either way, yeah, Undying getting a little bit too close to the Remnant. Just a little bit further away, and, well, the Ember Spirit's probably none the wiser. But we are, again, seeing the power of Baby Knight as a player, and Baby Knight as a player, especially on Ember Spirit. He's level 10, 12 minutes in, which in and of itself is freaking amazing, but 5-0-0 and 48 CS. He's not falling behind in CS to get these kills, is doing pretty well for himself. That being said, Anti-Mage is just doing a little bit better. So Battle Fury on the way for Exotic here, and so far no pressure applied to this Anti-Mage whatsoever. Baby Knight is again going to miss the chains, this time on the Undying. 2 TPs coming in. Baby Knight has got to get out of here, like now. Has the Embrace right behind him, so he's not going to outright die, at least not super easily. But this is a 2v4 scenario, as Alicia's also teleported in. Pop the Darkness, Nisha has also arrived. There's a lot of heroes committed from alternate to do absolutely nothing on that bottom lane.
Yeah, well, you gotta suspect that something's up, especially when the darkness is popped. So you have to assume that they are in the lane that you are in. So yeah, good play there for Jellopy, just to sort of back off the moment they know darkness is popped. Because once darkness is popped, they also have to produce vision, so they can't really see anything that's coming their way. So it's just good plays coming from Jellopy. They understand the situation. I think that's just how they're getting most of their kills and their objectives. They just know when to do it. They know the indicators. And in particular, it's Baby Knight that's going to be holding most of the momentum for the game, especially for the Shadow Fiend. He's going to be that pillar to keep the Shadow Fiend in the game. Like, Jellopy hasn't left the jungle for, what, 5 minutes? And he's already got a component for his BKB, or what it seems. Unless it's going to be a Sand and Yasha. We did see it last game that Jellopy just went straight for a Sand and Yasha.
No, he doesn't have any other components just yet, but I would expect an SNY to come up for him. I mean, BKB is really good up against alternate, but that can always come a little bit later. Kefka's also gotten a lot of free time. Had a rough farming lane where he got absolutely nothing compared to the kills that he got in the last game as Shaker. He is still decently close to his Blink Dagger. He just has to make sure to not die, and Well, this might not be the place to wander into if that's his game plan. He is going to see Nisha right now. Baby Knight's right around the corner. This is not a place where Dazzle wants to be. Searing Chain's not being used just yet. Nisha's going to weave himself up. Fissure is there, and Chant Totem follow up. They're going to blow up the Tombstone first. Nisha's still dropping low. Now the chains come through, and now he'll fall. Jellopy going to pop the Requiem just as kind of a zoning tool. They're going to see Exotic Deer, force him away. Kind of a wasted Requiem there from Jellopy, but I do like the safety of that play. Just pop the Requiem so that no one else is going to come in. Guarantee that your Shaker survives. And it looks like it'll just be a solo kill on the Dazzle. Again, it costs them 4 heroes worth of time. That's super expensive, but at least in this time, Exotic Deer wasn't farming.
Not just that, but they're possibly going to transition this into an objective, aka that bottom T1 tower, and I don't think Alternate really wants to defend that. Everyone's so spread out, and obviously because you're running a 4 Protect 1 in having this anti-mage, they're not going to have enough resources to really protect it. So I think at this point, they're just going to give it away and try and find their own objectives. Unfortunately, not towers and not heroes, but I guess it's just mostly farm for the anti-mage.
This is offering a weird opening also for the Venomancer of all heroes. He's grabbed his Arcane Boots, so he's going to have that infinite mana, and he doesn't really need a lot of mana to cast the Plague Wards, but now he's level 8, and a high-level Venomancer, especially once you get level 2 Ultimate, is a significant threat, and it's very hard to deal with because he only needs to get 1 button press off, and it's not very hard to do that. You just mash the button, and most of the time you get your Nova off, even if it just connects on 2 heroes. That's fine enough for a support hero. If he somehow gets his Aghanims, then that's just going to be backbreaking for Alternate, but he's getting a lot of free time to farm while the rest of the team, they're pushing, they're buying a lot of space, and Venomancer was not only farming, he was actively pushing the lane with those Plague Wards and keeping himself safe at that. Nisha, going to narrowly get out of the chains of the Ember Spirit, but they may not be done just yet. Beaver's going to come in. Looks like he has no range and doesn't really want to drop the Curse. Oh, it looks like everyone from Princess Jellopy's side is going to be fine, but they've taken down the bottom lane. They haven't lost any towers so far. Even though this anti-mage is farming a lot, he is not working with the most space to farm in the future. So it's not the worst scenario for Princess Jellopy, but it's certainly not the scenario they want to be in, especially now with Solon getting hit with the full-on Sunstrike. Mana Void is there, but he does get his ultimate off, and here come the chains. Night Stalker is going to grab that kill with the Urn Charge, but now here comes Baby Knight. He's going to force the Exotic Deer to leave. Poison Sting and Nova not quite going to do enough before anti-mage TP's out. Baby Knight going to play some games with Lelouch. He's silenced, though. Does he have enough damage? Doesn't look like he does. 2 heroes going to get the kill and then get out super narrow from Alternate, but unpunished nonetheless.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate there for Princess Jellopy, not able to get the kill on either the Anti-Mage or the Night Stalker, but it was a very minor kill, so it's just the Venomancer that they lost. It's not that bad, but for the Team Alternate, I think for them, just any kill is worth it. If they can get Jellopy in the bottom lane, that would be huge. He's going to pop the invisibility rune, but unfortunately there's detection, so nice pickup there for Team Alternate, not only to get a support Dazzle in the top lane, but to get a Shadow Fiend for that cherry on top, which is definitely huge for them. This Anti-Mage is going to start getting really big on the back of some of these kills. It's going to do for the Sand and Yasha, so more lifesteal to continue on farming. It won't help him fight, but it seems that he's really bunkering down for this farming.
Kefka. I don't think you could actually do this, although with level 3 Enchant Totem, he may be able to. Blink Echo? He needs one more hero here. Up towards top lane in the meantime, there's going to be a small fight. Baby Knight's going to get hit with the silence. Just a baby one because it is daytime. He's going to land the chance to Lelouch and then leave. Sure, I mean, better safe than dead, right? But now Kefka's going to circle around towards Exotic Deer, land a Fissure, blink forward, hit him with the totem, looking for another stun. Not going to happen. It's only level 1 Fissure, so it doesn't actually stun for that long. Super patient plays from Kefka, yet not going to do that much, but he does show off his Blink Dagger. So Blink Shaker, we saw it in the last game, absolutely wreck Alternate. It's definitely not too late for that to happen. 18 minutes in, you know, it's a pretty good time. If you get your Blink Dagger on Shaker before 20 minutes, usually you're pretty happy.
Yeah, absolutely. So you just got to keep an eye on him and see if he actually does get the initiation off. I think for Kefka, though, he doesn't need anything like smokes or that. He's always there for when the team fights do happen. But I think for this game, though, Team Alternate are going to be a little bit reluctant to go for any sort of team fight because they know there's always going to be this AoE and the counter initiation there for Princess Jellopy. So they're going to play a little bit safer for the moment. So at this point, does Team Alternate just continue on farming with the Anti-Mage? Because they seem very defensive at this point.
I think they are actually in a good enough position to, once it's nighttime phase and once Aghanims is up on Lelouch, to go play super aggressive. Like, Anti-Mage doesn't exactly love to do that, but wow, they have an Aghanim Scepter on Invoker. Okay, as a first item, not too sure about that. I prefer Mobility or Yule Scepter or something, especially with this Exhort build, but sure. He's going to be spitting spells like nobody's business. In theory, the problem is that his Invoke is only level 1, so like, what is the plan there? Yeah, not a good item pickup for this portion of the game Invoker, but hey, good for later on. It is going to be nighttime phase soon enough with Aghanims, and Lelouch is still farming up an absolute storm, and then things get a lot more difficult for Princess Jellopy, who kind of have to just sit back and farm. Their alternatives aren't really there, whereas for alternate, they can go aggressive, or they can sit back on this anti-mage. Either one is going to work, and it's going to be pretty close to affecting this regardless of what strategy they choose. For Princess Jellopy, they only have really one path, and that's like try to get some pickoffs maybe occasionally, but really just try to get Baby Knight a couple more items.
Yeah, so it looks like we're going to have a massive wraparound here onto Princess Jellopy. It's going to be the Undying as well as the Anti-Mage. If they can get this kill, it'll be huge, but he's got a Shadow Blade, so do they have detection available? I don't think they do. Oh, they got Dust on the Undying, but it looks like they're just going to retreat. They don't really want to commit onto this. They could find something else instead, though. Baby Knight looking for a rotation into the mid lane, then it's going to be a Port Dazzle, it seems. Oh, Lelouch. He's the one that's going to be going for a jump in onto creeps, so he will reveal himself, and I think Baby Knight seeing the Night Stalker in the mid lane is going to be a little bit more reluctant and hanging around, but we'll see what happens. But here we go, another wraparound. Can they catch Jellopy though? He's got a Shadow Blade popped, unless they go for the coincidental Dust right here. No, they won't see anything, so they'll say, oh, he's probably gone. No, he's not gone. He's still there. You just can't see him.
Not a big deal, however. Like, though they don't get the kill right now, it's going to be a lot easier for them to get the kill in just 400 gold, where I'm assuming someone on alternate is going to buy the gem for the Night Stalker. He'll have the Broken Vision, and that's going to be True Sight at that. Jellopy is not going to be easily able to escape from those situations with Shadow Blade. So far, the Shadow Blade for Jellopy has done absolutely jack all, except for, helping him escape that one time. But it is just a really bad item. Once the gem comes up on a Night Stalker, it does very, very little for you. I guess the break is kind of nice, especially versus the Anti-Mage. Just reducing the enemy's damage output, certainly very nice. And it looks like he may be going for that, although Shadow Blade into SNY into, disassemble later on, that's also a decent way to go. He wants to be getting kills with this item. You always want to be getting kills with the Shadow Blade, because it is just naturally an item with a timer. But he hasn't been able to get those opportunities, at least not yet.
I don't think it's just the Shadow Blade he's after. I feel like the Silver Edge will definitely help, especially when Princess Jellopy tries to kill off the Anti-Mage. You're going to get rid of Spell Shield, and you look at the damage on the side of Princess Jellopy, and I think a lot of it is going to be magical damage, so if you can get the break, is it break or mute? It's break, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a break.
It's a break?
Unless they changed it.
Unless they changed it. I think Icefrog just got it wrong the first time around. Anyways, if they can get the break onto the Anti-Mage and just blow all their spells, they could effectively just kill off Exotic Deer that way. But here we go, poor Venno. Yeah, poor Venno. He will slow down the Venno for a little bit, but he will be able to kite him into the trees, but yeah. Oh, the Echo Snap from Kefka, but this should not be enough to kill off the Anti-Mage. This is actually going to be a double kill. No! Oh, well, that was a bit of a misplay there coming out from Princess Jellopy, hoping to get the kill on the Anti-Mage and instead giving him away 2 kills. He will TP or blink into the tree line and TP out, and it looks like no one on the side of Jellopy is going to find him. That was a huge misplay there from Princess Jellopy. That was supposed to get kills, but, he kind of give kills away to an Anti-Mage. Yeah, big no-no.
Free kill on that Shaker, who, blink in for the Echo Slam maybe to try to save the Venomancer, but Venomancer was pretty screwed there regardless of what happened, and Shaker now has a good idea that he cannot kill the Anti-Mage because there is Spell Shield up, and he ended up trapping himself, although he probably would have been chased down anyway. He had backup kind of coming in, but just a little bit too early to make that play, so Princess Jellopy ended up losing 2 heroes in exchange for the Dazzle, who just got picked off in the jungle by the Baby Knight. Not a big deal. It's just a Dazzle here for alternate. They are in pretty firm control of this game at this point. Exotic Deer now is going to start power farming an absolute storm. The gold advantage was pretty even for a good portion of this game, but now it's going to start to skyrocket in alternate's favor. Princess Jellopy needs to make some big plays with this Silver Edge, but the Shadow Fiend, he's going to walk right by. Even with the double damage rune, doesn't really want to tango with the Night Stalker. They're going to go instead for the Undying. He's going to drop the Tombstone, gets Graved super early. Blink forward from Kefka. Vision not going to connect on anyone else. Sunstrike on Baby Knight can destroy his health pool. He's going to get demolished instantly. Kefka's also going to fall. That's 3 kills for free for alternate. And Princess Jellopy put pretty much no damage into any of the alternate heroes.
That was just a massive loss there for Princess Jellopy, and all of a sudden it's going to translate into a T1 tower as well, so a little bit more map control of a team alternate, and this means that the Anti-Mage is going to be feeling a lot more safer this game. It looks like Jellopy tried to go for his own kill onto the Anti-Mage here, but Exotic Deer just being a little bit too tanky for his liking. Instead, he's going to continue on farming into the jungle, whereas the rest of his team not going to go for a commitment into the mid T2, which I find surprising. I thought they would have put at least a little bit more damage into it before backing out because they're still dead. I guess they're just wanting to play safe right now.
That's fine. They have the vision, so they know exactly if anyone is going to be coming in. They still don't have a gem on this Night Stalker. They have very little. They're very low true sight also. It's just the Dust and the Undying. But oh, bottom lane, Solon's going to get jumped by Supreme. He does get his ultimate off, which is going to do a hell of a lot of damage towards the Invoker. But it's not going to be enough to save the Venomancer. He's going to whip up the Ghost Walk. Still take a lot of damage. Like, this is a level 1 ultimate, level 2 ultimate. Nothing else really. And Invoker got completely wrecked. He will still survive because that's just how it works, but still for Jellopy, they're just bleeding out heroes at this point. They're not getting enough farm on Beaver Knight nor on Jellopy to really make this balance. The Shadow Blade into Silver Edge for the Shadow Fiend has done, again, so far absolutely nothing, and I don't really know if he's going to have the chance to make it do something soon. He's going to find Nisha, but again, like, there's nothing here for the Shadow Fiend. In fact, he has to get out because the Anti-Mage at this point is absolutely huge. Like, Manch Style, Battle Fury, Vlad, he's leading the net worth chart by 5,000 over the SF.
Yeah, so I can understand why Exotic Deer has the golden weapons now, because this guy is literally rolling in money. He can afford to coat his weapons in gold. But at this point, yeah, what does Jellopy really do? Like, they picked up aggressive items that they were supposed to use a while ago to try to assert map dominance, to keep Team Alternate held in their base, making them feeling scared, but that's just not what's happening. They've fallen back to farming. And honest, how would you feel for Jellopy's late game compared to Team Alternate? I feel like Anti-Mage is huge compared to Ember Spirit and Shadow Fiend in the late game scenario. Like, during the early portions, Anti-Mage isn't that great because it's not as farmed as these two heroes, but once he is 6 slot, what does Team Jellopy do? I don't think they have enough damage between all 5 of their heroes to just kill off the Anti-Mage. They don't have anything like a heavy right-clicker or any huge magical burst damage to really put a dent in the Anti-Mage.
The best tools that they have are their ultimates, especially if they land the break, turn off that spell shield. Land a Winter's Curse and Loot Wyvern, which is a huge asset in killing off the Anti-Mage. Again, the Venomancer's ultimate is a pretty high damage tool as well. Yeah, mitigated heavily by the Anti-Mage's spell shield, but they have the ultimates necessary to kill off the Anti-Mage. You just have to find those opportunities, but the problem is that it's not just the Anti-Mage. Like, he is a threat, yes, but the Invoker is also getting freakishly large at this point. He already has Aghanim Scepter, as I said, had that one for quite a while, and he actually now has the points in Invoke to make that a good item pickup. And he has that Soul Booster now, so Octarine Core is soon going to be up. Supreme is going to be chucking spells left, right, and center, and as long as alternate are spread out, I don't actually see them losing a fight anytime soon. Jellopy can take a full Sunstrike to the head. He's going to get out of there just fine. Alternate, the worst thing they could probably do is go for Roshan. Clumping up is going to be the death of them, but if they just keep split pushing, keep getting split farm, they'll be able to eventually get so far ahead that Team Jellopy won't be able to do that much. Seems like Roshan is dropping way too quick right now, so Jellopy, even if they went right now, wouldn't be able to do anything. So, clumping up or not, they're going to grab now an Aegis on Exotic Deer, and now the Anti-Mage is just unkillable.
So is this the high ground attempt now from Team Alternate because they have the Aegis, or can they just slow it down a little bit and just keep it in their current pace? Because I'm looking at this now, and this is just telling me that Exotic Deer is going to start going for the tower as he is, whereas the rest of his team is going to try and buy time for him.
I feel like they don't have to.
Beaver, they do really need to cold embrace their Beaver. Yeah,
I think, right?
Yeah.
Oh well. That's a dead Winter Wyvern, super dead. Now Lelouch chasing after Beaver Knight. Sunstrike is there. They need to land the Crippling Fear. Beaver Knight is going to Manta Style a little bit early. He needs to jump out right now, but it's too late. Now silenced up. He's going to be worked down eventually. Fissure, a little bit too late from Kefka, who needs to get the hell out of there also. Winter Wyvern and Ember Spirit down. Exotic Deer is going to just push up the mid lane. Here's where they need their ultimates to land properly in the high ground defense. But even with perfect ultimates, I'm not convinced that it's, first of all, going to land because the Night Stalker has the vision advantage. I'm not convinced that it's even going to be doing enough damage. So it's just going straight for the tower. Down to half HP, down to a third of HP. Down to 8th of his HP. Tornado coming in from Supreme. Not going to do a ton, although we'll force Jellopy away. Solon trying to walk in, but in the meantime, Kefka gets assassinated by the Exotic Deer. Jellopy also dropping super low to the Anti-Mage, looking for... We already used the Mana Void, so we can't quite catch up to Jellopy. But they do take down the Venomancer, at least the Invoker does. Now they're going to get bashed onto the Winter Wyvern, kill him off. This game is looking pretty over in favor of Alternate. The Anti-Mage still is at like full HP, has barely lost anything throughout the course of this fight. Now they have the Octarine completed on the Invoker, 1 Rax to their advantage. And for Jellopy, it's pretty much now or never to land these teamfight ultimates. It's been so long since they've landed a curse. They're going to try to go for Nisha, but it's just a dazzle. Jump in from Exotic Deer, going to go straight for Solon and Beaver both. He's taking a little bit of damage, but this is Aegis. He actually just doesn't care about this at all. Now going for Jellopy. Shadow Fiend cannot compete with his anti-mage damage up. We'll think about the Requiem. We'll decide against it. In fact, he lost enough mana to cast it. And Beaver just 1 hit away from death. Blink for it. Echo Slam. Nicely done from Kefka, but I don't think it's really going to be enough. They will kill off the Night Stalker and the Dazzle, but they will fail to kill off the Exotic Deer, who's just going to push them all into their fountain. He won't get those kills. Beaver Knight misses the chains, but he will land onto Exotic Deer. He's just going to turn around and 2-shot him. He'll take down the Aegis, but it's an Aegis. I don't know what Kefka is planning here, but I'm pretty sure it's not a good plan. He'll stun Exotic Deer twice, do a negligible amount of damage. Now the Sunstrike is coming in with a Deafening Blast. Ooh, the Deafening Blast is going to push Kefka out of the Sunstrike, but still working down Jellopy, who's going to go Invis. So he will not die just yet, but the Anti-Mage is also not dying. This is 2 Raxes in favor of Alternate now. And for Princess Jellopy, they're struggling to leave their fountain. That's how bad this is at this point.
I think it's to the point of no return, unfortunately, for Jellopy. It just felt like the heroes came a little bit too late online. It's not like the last game where they were going completely relentless at Team Alternate, just constantly fighting, and instead it's just being Team Alternate being the aggressors when it comes to these team fights. So they're going to try and get a kill onto Supreme here. Do they have enough Disable to keep him in place, as well as the burst damage? He's actually getting quite far. Ghost Walk's there. He's going to be able to get out, and here comes the cleanup crew in Exotic. They're going to jump right onto Jellopy. Even gets voided as well to make sure that he's dead, and here comes a GG call as well. What a comeback from Team Alternate. It looked pretty bad for them for a while, but all of a sudden it just turns on its head with this anti-mage pickup.
Yeah, the first game was, day and night difference compared to this one, where they had the free farming anti-mage pretty much the entire game. The safe lane for Team Jellopy was under so much pressure with the Undying Night Stalker. I mean, the surprise first blood out of nowhere, first of all, but they really didn't have any lanes that were winning, and they were kind of in an awkward state where, yeah, Baby Knight had a lot of farm, but he was forced to go for the Manta style to kind of answer the Night Stalker pickup, that he wasn't really doing that much damage outside of his base skills. Like, he has no damage items right now. So it is Team Alternate Attacks to claim victory, with all 3 lanes almost completely winning. So it is Alternate Attacks to claim the win, meaning it is going to be 1-1. So each team gets a point, points for everyone, but that also means that we are done here, guys. We're going to have a couple of more American games in, how long? 23, so it's going to be in about 3 hours. Stream is going to be off before then, but for right now, guys, we're done. If you enjoy the cast, well, be sure to follow the channel, because there is a lot more from the GameShow Global Cup coming up in the next couple of days. Also follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/Mikelorus, twitter.com/Daneliecasts. It's all on the screen right now, but for right now, we are done. We'll see you next time, guys. GG.